Basically, the answer for higher quality conservation is not in this room, okay? It's not in this room because it is in the hands of Singapore's young people who are going to be the customers who go to these conservation sites. And their eyes will know good conservation from overdone or wrong conservation. So it's a matter of time, I think, for Singapore. So if the URA planners keep holding the line, keep the form, keep the cityscape, I think it's only a matter of time the young people will say, I don't really like this, it's overdone. What happened to the original high volume, the courtyard, the feeling of it? So in my opinion, the answer is not in this room.
Dismissed. Didier.
Talking after Mrs. Lee. You know what I mean? No, I agree in the term that, you know, even in conservation, there are many different fashions. And that means heritage is a very living heritage. And it follows the generations and so on. And it's true, some people, one generation would like to have very open space, the other want to close and to divide everything. So in terms of conservation, we have known the same thing all over Europe and even in the old part of the districts. So the main thing I would say, as it has been said by Wing-Chin and Mrs. Lee, is the main thing is heritage is saved. Now it's just a question of doing other finishes and to I would say upgrade a little bit to more sophisticated things. But the basic thing is saved. So that's the main thing in Singapore, which was not the case in the 80s.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wen-Jin?
I would say that we have done a lot to protect the physical form, the district as a whole. But what we have not done good enough is the software and place management. I remember visiting many of the US cities in 1985, all their conservation areas. And New Orleans is a place that I visited. And they have guidelines such as within the entire conservation area, they limit X number of T-shirt shops, i.e. touristic shops. You can only have X numbers, and that's it, a quota. And they also manage the shop front that X meter from the road, it has to be of a certain quality. I know all these are very difficult to do. I know we struggle with it in the early days. I personally, at one time, say, let's keep the shop front, the shutters, They are all timber planks where at the end of the day, you take the planks one by one to close your shop front and not just a roller shutter that comes down. But you see, a lot of nice things, you can't, force it. It has to be the owners, the shopkeepers voluntarily appreciates it and feels that they want to do it, like Dr. Lee's house at Emerald Hill, Dr. Gaiman's house, Richard Helfer's house, and so on and so forth. You have to feel it from the heart. And I said you need to minus a zero. And I think the other thing I feel we're not doing so well, I did say that we win the award, we will confer the award because of a good balance between free market forces and cultural heritage and so on. But then the economic forces is at play. I don't have a solution. How do we manage that? Because I don't enjoy walking Haji Lane now. I find the shops there are no longer the original little shops, a little bit like cottage industries. They are all, I look around, they are all for tourists. I couldn't even walk into any of them because I look at the shop front, I'm put off, I know what they're selling inside, you know. I don't go to Haji Lane for that, I can go to the shopping mall. But then the economic forces is at play. What can we do? I have no answer. Maybe those of you who have some brilliant answers, please share with URA.